already, right? Okay. So what do you think about CSAT? Good. Last time it was the toughest CSAT paper ever. That is why a panic is there. Maybe that is the reason that I am teaching you maybe to confirm that you will clear the CSAT, right? Because that is needed. Without clearing CSAT, clearing the other paper is of no use, right? Okay, so CSAT is important. So in this course, what I will be trying to do is to improve your problem solving skills. That is what is more important. That is what I think. Because from school days onwards, we have some misunderstanding about mathematics itself, right? Mathematics is something to be by hearted, a lot of formula to be by hearted. Or I'm audible in the back, right? Okay. So some of those misunderstanding is the reason that CSAT is tough, or we don't have that problem solving skills when it comes to a random new question. Or many people say that listening to the class, I understand everything, but when we see a random question, not able to solve that. So that problem should be sorted. When you see a random question also, you should be able to solve. So that kind of problem solving skills we need to develop. So for that, we have to first avoid our rote learning method itself, that we have to by heart few formulas and that magic formula will solve all the questions. That will not help, especially in the new pattern of CSAT. In the previous patterns of CSAT, that will help. Some like gimmicks are enough. Just few formulas or few areas from which questions are asked more. We will concentrate on that and we will pass it. Because from those areas, we will get sure shot easy questions. Now also questions will be there, but many of the questions are very tough. Especially last exam, number system, about 24 questions were there. 24 questions from number system alone. Before that, number system 2022 year, number system questions were about 10 questions only. That suddenly increased to 24 questions. Similarly, many other topics, permutation, combination, more questions were there. So in this scenario, we have to be clear about all the topics. We cannot spare some topic and say that questions will come from this area only. Or last time number system came, so we will learn only number system. That also we cannot say. So definitely UPSC's intention is also this. When you see a random question or when you see a surprise question paper, how well you can solve it. So let us try to learn that, and I want your feedback in all the classes. In the live class itself, you can, if you didn't understand anything, please tell it immediately. Don't wait for the class to be over. You can ask immediately. It's comparatively a shorter crowd, right? Or smaller crowd. So definitely you can ask your doubts. We will have a live interaction in the class itself, right? Okay, so let's start. So today, as it is a first class, I will try to go as slow as possible. Next class onwards, we have to increase the speed every week. 3 topics will be covered. This first day only, I will be covering only 2 topics. Yeah, I was informed that you all attended a course of CSAT before. All of you attended, right? Or are there students who are attending CSAT for the first time? Or you haven't attended any classes of CSAT? No, right? Everyone, CSAT, you have attended a course already. Okay, then, fine. Okay. For the new people, or for those people who are not aware about me, more of my credentials are given here. I am training students for UPSC and other exams for the last 10 years, almost 2 lakh aspirants for different competitive exams together. I have a YouTube channel called Christy's Classes. There also I post content related to UPSC CSAT. So that's it. And these are the few books I have written on general aptitude. And CSAT, again, as most of you have attended or all of you have attended, and online students, am I audible? There are students who are attending online also, right? Online students, I'm audible, right? Yes. Okay. So CSAT, there is 2 hour is the timing for the CSAT, and 80 questions will be there. Every question 2.5 marks, and negative mark will be there. Negative mark it is 0.83 negative mark, that is 1/3 mark negative for a wrong answer. And 66 mark is the qualifying marks, 33%. That is comparatively a very less percentage to clear, right? Compared to any other exams, 33% is like in your board exams also in 10th standard or 10th, 12th standard. 33% won't be, it will be like 40% or 50%, right? But 33% is such a low percentage, but still it is tough. That is the problem. Okay, so these things all of you are clear, right? I don't have to explain more. Okay. Okay, so that is about the outline, and this is a syllabus. Syllabus also all of you are familiar, right? Yes. Anything I have to explain more, let me know, because I am informed that you are already familiar with CSAT. That is why I'm not explaining too much already the things you know. So basically we can divide CSAT into 3 sections. One is quantitative aptitude, second is reasoning, third is comprehension. So that is the syllabus also, like quantitative aptitude is this basic numeracy, and also general mental ability also comes with reasoning and quantitative aptitude. And reasoning is logical reasoning and analytical ability. Reading comprehension is a comprehension section. Decision making and problem solving, last few years questions are not asked at all. And data interpretation is part of quantitative aptitude itself. So and another misunderstanding is 10th level. This is a pure lie mentioned by UPSC, because many of the questions are not of 10th level. Especially permutation combination is not a chapter we are learning till 10th class. We are learning that in 11th standard. And some of you, all of you are of science or engineering background? No, right? So some of you may not have taken maths in 11th and 12th. So you may not have heard about permutation combination also. And that is included in basic numeracy class 10 level. So, but most of the chapters are 10th level. But some chapters are not of 10th level, especially permutation combination. So that all, when we discuss about that chapter, I will give you more insights. Okay, so when you approach CSAT questions, you should be careful that you can do questions in 2 different ways. I'm giving a general idea, then we will go to the syllogism chapter that we are starting with. Syllogism and coding, decoding, 2 topics we are trying to complete in today's session. So when you see a question, you can solve the question in 2 ways. One is you can select the right answer. Second is you can select the wrong answers and weed it out, and whatever remains is the correct answer. That is rejection approach, or simply by eliminating options. So selecting the correct answer, using the analyzing the hypothesis and concluding, that is one approach. Second is rejecting the wrong options, and whatever remains will be the correct answer. These 2 ways are possible. When it comes to elimination, many of us are familiar with elimination using substitution, but that is not the only elimination. There are many other ways. Recently, yesterday, I don't know whether you people follow the YouTube channel of Legacy IAS. There I have posted a video regarding this elimination techniques, or how you can select and reject options. That in the upcoming classes, when we discuss each topic, I will emphasize on the selection approach also, rejection approach also. Some chapters selection approach is better. Some chapters rejection approach is much better. And when we try to do it with selection approach, that is why it is taking too much time, or we are getting stuck in between. So about that, in between the class, I will discuss. And selection approach, about 10 different methods are there for selection approaches itself. These 5 methods are all of selection approaches itself. And rejection approach, elimination itself, you can do it in at least 5 different ways. At least 5 different ways. Again, about that, you can check out that video, or in the upcoming session, we will discuss more about it. Today's class, we are discussing syllogism chapter. That syllogism chapter can be done with selection approach mainly, and that also with visual method. Visual method is the best method. Visual method means drawing a picture to understand a question or solve the question. And in this chapter, the best picture is Venn diagram. All of you are familiar with Venn diagram or not? Some of you are not, right? Or most of you are, but some of you are not. Okay, and this thing, I think, again, if you have attended the CSAT course, so you are already familiar. In 2023, this was the distribution. Quantitative aptitude, 40 questions were there. First time quantitative aptitude are asked. this much number of questions. Normally reasoning 20 above, quantitative aptitude 20 to 30 questions will be there. But this time reasoning was very less. I mean 2023. That does not mean next time also the pattern will be same. Next time maybe reasoning will be more and quantitative aptitude can be less also. So this was the trend in 2023, but last 10 years trend is this. 2023, 40 quant and 13 reasoning. 22, it was 35 quant and 20 reasoning. Then 30, 20, 40, 15. 1 year, it was the other way around. Quantitative aptitude was only 21 questions and 29 questions from reasoning itself. So the trend can change. That is what I'm trying to say. So don't underestimate any topic. Try to practice all the topics and try to be flexible with all the topics. Again, these things you are already familiar, I guess. In case I should explain anything on this, please tell me. Okay, so I will share you the slides if you want. You can check it out in case. Okay, so I will be dividing the topics into these 30 topics, quant and reasoning, and comprehension will be discussed on a separate lecture. So quantitative aptitude, 19 topics I am dividing it into. Number system itself 6 lectures, and then the other topics. And reasoning, I will be dividing it into 11 topics. We will be discussing these 2 topics today. Syllogism, coding, decoding, and mathematical operation related questions will be discussed today. And then next week onwards, 3 topics each. So the reasoning can be completed in the first 4 lectures or 4 days. Then we will start the quantitative aptitude, and in the end, we will be discussing comprehension. Okay, so that is the intro. So shall we start the first topic, syllogism? Anything you have to ask or any doubts? All of you got the worksheet, right? Online batch. Everything clear, right? Okay. So, yeah, make sure everyone have the worksheet or at least share the worksheet. You're going to try these questions. Okay, so let's start syllogism topic. First topic we are discussing is syllogisms. Syllogism is from a Greek word which means inference or deduction. Just a basic history of syllogism. So the idea of syllogism is, if 2 statements are given, you are trying to conclude something from that, or more than 2 statements also can be given. For example, all humans are animals and all animals are living beings. What you can conclude? If all humans are animals and all animals are human beings, how you can connect this humans and living beings? All humans will be living beings, na? In Venn diagram terminology, if we say humans are subset of animals and animals are subset of living beings. There will be art stream background students also. So subset, you know what is subset? Subset means a subgroup. For example, yeah, humans, living beings itself you can consider. Humans are part of the bigger group, living beings. So that means humans are subset. The word subset I will be using throughout this class. So in case there is doubt, please ask. So all humans are animals, all animals are living beings. From these 2 statements, you can conclude that all humans are living beings. So these kind of a reasoning is called syllogisms. But there can be more complicated situation. This is all case. There can be some case, there can be no case, there can be some not case also. And syllogism, again, it is not something new thing. It was there in the 350 BC book, prior analytics books also. There was mention about this syllogism. Again, these all are just fun facts about syllogisms. These all will not be asked. And this is one example that is given in that book itself. All men are mortal. Socrates is man. Then Socrates is mortal. Clear, na? Because all men are mortal means men will be subset of the bigger set mortal. And Socrates is one person in that set man. So definitely Socrates will be mortal. 1 second. So this thing, how you can represent in a Venn diagram. Those of you are not familiar with Venn diagram, I will just explain. Venn diagram means using circles. It can be rectangle, squares also, but we will be using circles itself. So if I am denoting mortal set or men set with this, that means all the men in the universe, I am putting it into this circle. All the dots inside this, are the men in the universe. If there are 7 billion men or 700 crore men, all of them I am including in this. And all men are mortal means that men set will be subset of a bigger set mortal. Are you getting it? Venn diagram, whether you are science background or not, you are seeing Venn diagram in newspapers, right? Or media, you are seeing this. So all men are mortal can be represented by this. So all X are Y. Then Socrates is a man means Socrates is one person inside this set. That means that Socrates, if this is that Socrates will be subset of mortal also. Na? So this is called Venn diagram for those people who are not familiar with the Venn diagram I'm telling. So that is the idea of syllogism. Now let us understand what all are the different okay. So the statements given for syllogisms are called propositions. The statements given, from the statements we are concluding something. So the statements given are called propositions. A proposition, or it is also called premise. Premise or statement or proposition means all the same itself. So there is a statement given or a premise given or a proposition given. From that we are trying to make a conclusion out of it. So a proposition is a grammatical sentence which comprises of a subject, predicate and a copula. So what is subject, predicate, copula? You should understand. Subject means the main person or main group in that. All humans are mammals means the human subject is connected to. So what it is connected to, that is called predicate. What it is connected to, that is called predicate. Like in grammar, we say subject and object, na? Same thing. Subject and predicate just means the same thing. And we are connecting it by a word. That word is called copula. That word is called copula. Like are, is, maybe. These are some examples of copula. Now there is a quantifier. How many of them are connected? That is called quantifier. All, some, no, etc. are quantifiers. Proper definition I have given here. Quantifiers are words like all, no, some, which quantifies how much it is, how much intersection is there. Is it completely inside? Is it completely outside? Or some of them are having an intersection. That is told by the word quantifier. And subject, predicate, the connecting word is called copula. Connecting word can be is, are, maybe, etc. So that are the components in a proposition or a premise or a statement. Now types of proposition, there are mainly 4 types of propositions. What are the 4 types of propositions? One is all X are Y, one is no X are Y, one is some X are Y, some X are not Y. You can take practical examples and say this. All X are Y, like all humans are mammals. All humans are mammals is an example of all X are Y. How you can represent it in a Venn diagram? We already discussed. Na? The X set will be subset of Y set. So X is inside Y. That is all X are Y. It is clear, na? What about no X are Y? X and Y have no intersection at all, no connection at all. That means they should be disjoint sets. Disjoint means no intersection at all. There is no connection at all. So no X or Y. Some X or Y means, for example, some humans are intelligent. That means if this is the intelligent set, this is the human set, some of them are common. Some of them are common. That means this area is what we are denoting here. This area. Some X are Y. Now some X are not Y also. It is the same Venn diagram itself, but we are referring to another region. Which region? This is human set. This is intelligent set. Some humans are not intelligent means these humans are intelligent. This area. That is what we discuss now. But these humans are not intelligent because they are outside the intelligent set. So that is represented by the same Venn diagram. So these 4 Venn diagrams, are you clear? These 4 Venn diagrams is what you need to do all the questions. So this should be clear. If there is any doubt, please ask. Online batch, I hope this much is clear to all. Okay. Now, all X or Y, let us discuss this separately. Let us see what all extra things we can say about this. All X or Y, for example, all humans are mammals. From that, what all we can conclude? If all humans are mammals, I can say some mammals are humans also. No? Just think about it. For example, in this class, all all students in this class love to drink coffee. That means I can say some coffee lovers are there in this class. I mean, from the set of all coffee lovers in the world, some of them are here. Getting the point? So all x are y implies that some y are x. Some y are x. Don't by heart it. Don't note it down without understanding. First understand it, then you can note it down. So all x are y. That means this y's some elements are here. Some elements may not be inside. Are you getting? So all x are y. Some y are x is implied. What about no x or y? From that, what you can conclude? No y or x also we can conclude. It is reversible. Because no humans are donkeys. Then no donkeys or humans are also correct. Yeah, you will hear very absurd sentences like this. You will hear also all humans are donkeys also. That also you should believe when you do syllogism questions. So, all of you got the worksheet? Syllogism, all of you got the worksheet, right? Okay. So no x or y implies no y or x also. All humans, no humans are donkeys means no donkeys or humans are also correct. That is also clear. Now, some x or y, or another way of saying that is at least one x or y, because in some questions you will see in terms of at least. Yeah, how you see questions with respect to that, I am telling the statements also. Some x or y, or at least one x or y. Some x or y or at least one x or y. Can you say some y or x also? Definitely. Because like some humans are intelligent means some intelligent people are humans, we can say. Are you getting? So some x or y implies some y or x also. That is also clear. Now some x are not y. Some x are not y. We cannot say some y are not x, because there is possibility that all of them are inside also. So from some x are not y, you cannot conclude anything extra. So these four things you understood. Now one more thing, all x are y and all y are z. Can you say all x are z? Yes, we just explained that Socrates example or humans, mammals example. So all x are y means x is subset of y. All y are z means y is subset of z. So x is subset of y is subset of z means x is subset of z is also correct. So all x are y, all y are z means all x are z also. So this much basic theory you should know. Now it is more about when you see a question, what all strategies you can use, that I will teach you. All clear this much? Am I going too slow? Yeah, I know that. First class, I want to keep it as slow as possible, because as I told, I want to know how much you are understanding. From your facial expression, I get a basic idea how fast you are understanding or how slow you are understanding. And there it is a diverse crowd, right? Students from arts, science, engineering, all are there. So let us go slower for the first class. Next class onwards, we will go faster. Okay. Okay, now the next important thing for problem solving you should understand is how to draw a minimal overlapping diagram, or what is a minimal overlapping diagram. From the word you can guess, minimal overlapping diagram or minimum overlapping diagram also you can say. Overlapping means one over the other, right? For example, shelf and chair, this is overlapping. The intersection part is called overlapping. Minimal overlapping means how much minimum overlapping should happen. How much minimum overlapping should happen, that is what we are representing in the picture. For example, these three propositions or these three premises, let us try to draw the Venn diagram, and the minimal overlapping Venn diagram I will show you, and then I will show you what are the different other possibilities. Some tables are shells. Some tables are shells means some x or y. I told you this intersection is what they are mentioning about. Some tables are shells, isn't it? Yeah, the circle can be drawn up, down. That will not change anything. And in this intersection, there is no rule how much angle you have to draw this or anything. You can make it how much intersection, but it should not be completely inside. That's the only idea. So okay. Do you know whether there is an eraser tool in this? Okay, okay, like this. Okay, yeah, that is not work. Okay, then you had, okay, okay. Thank you. This one. Here. Okay, okay. Mark, na? Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, I think now we're this one. This. Okay, now it will work, I guess. Okay, thank you. Okay, so okay, some tables are shells. You can represent by this circle and this circle. Some shells are chairs, means shelf and chair have an intersection. But what about chairs and tables? Does the question say anything about that? No. That means in the minimal overlapping diagram, we are not supposed to have an intersection between chair and table. That does not guarantee that there is no intersection. In minimal overlapping diagram, there is no intersection. Are you getting? That is the objective of minimal overlapping diagram. Minimum, how much intersection is there? That is what we are representing in minimal overlapping diagram. So chair and table having an intersection is not stated in the premise. So you don't have to assume that. You don't have to assume that. That is why we are not showing any intersection between table and chairs. But there is a possible Venn diagram where shelf table is like this. This is table, this is shelf. And the chair can be like this. Because question didn't say that no shelf is a chair or no chair is a shelf or no table is a chair. This is also a possibility. But with this diagram, most of the questions can be done. That is a good thing about minimal overlapping diagram. Practically, minimal overlapping diagram help you to solve questions. Okay, so but you should understand other possibilities are also there. From this now. Okay, yeah, this one. Okay, so some tables are shells, some shells are chairs are done. All chairs are benches. That means chair set should be inside the bench set. Na? Chair circle should be inside the bench circle. That is represented. But we don't know whether bench have an intersection with table or not. That is not clear. But in minimal overlapping diagram, you don't have to draw that. That is the meaning of minimal overlapping diagram. Is it clear? The minimal overlapping diagram of these three statements? Yes. Shelf and bench. Yeah, that I will tell you. That automatically will happen, na? Because chair is inside bench. As all chairs are benches, these are all the chairs in the world. And these are all the benches in the world. All the chairs in the world are subset of all the benches in the world. That is why shelf and bench automatically will have an intersection. That is how we are actually concluding many of the conclusions actually. So this minimal overlapping diagram is done, right? Any doubts? No. Then let us now practically see how to draw minimal overlapping diagram in questions. And one more thing, I already mentioned this. You will see many absurd sentences in the question, like all humans are donkeys. Don't take it personally. I mean, that is just random statements. That is the idea of syllogism itself. If this is true, what you can conclude? If this is true, what you can conclude? Even now, tables are not shelves. Tables are not chairs in the previous question. We have to assume that is true, then what you can conclude. And they will try to give absurd sentence that is not related to real life. Because in that scenario, can you think? That is what the question paper setter is checking. So that is what is mentioned here. Generally, we have to consider the statements to be true, even if they seem to be variants from the commonly known fact. Commonly, we know that no chair is a table, but we have to assume so if it is given so. Read all the conclusions and then decide which of the given conclusions logically follows from the statement disregarding the commonly known fact. So commonly known fact have no role in this chapter, right? Okay. in most of the questions, they will mention these two sentences. In some questions, they will not mention, but you have to assume this is the case, right? Yeah, this thing towards the end of the class we'll discuss. We will start with the first question. We will go to CSAT PYQs. Before that, we will see few questions, practice few questions, and then go to PYQs. First question in your worksheet, first question. I'll come in a minute. Please try this. Okay, sir, can I get some water? Yeah. Yeah. No. Bottle will go. Thank you. No problem. No problem. Done. Okay, I will explain as it is the first question. Anyone got any answers? D. Let's see. How many of you got D? Can you raise hands? Most of you. Very good. Very good. Read the statement. So these are the premises or these are the propositions given. All women are entrepreneurs. Some women are doctors. So how you can draw the Venn diagram for this? All women. So the women set should be inside the entrepreneur set. Women set should be inside the entrepreneur set. If this is the women set, that should be subset of entrepreneur set. That is clear, na? Now, some women are doctors. Now, some women are doctors. How much you try, definitely the entrepreneur set will have an intersection with doctor. Because all women are doctors. That means women and doctors, this will be the intersection. In the minimal overlapping diagram itself, this is the picture, right? Or you can, in words also, without Venn diagram, in words also, you can say, as all women are entrepreneurs, the women doctors at least will be entrepreneurs. Women doctors at least will be entrepreneurs means some doctors are entrepreneurs. Some doctors are entrepreneurs means some entrepreneurs are also doctors. Let's see what is given in the conclusion. So this is the Venn diagram or minimal overlapping diagram you can draw. What can be concluded? All women are doctors. All women are doctors? No, only some women are doctors. So this cannot be concluded. All doctors are entrepreneurs. All doctors? No, these doctors are not entrepreneurs. This set is outside this entrepreneur set. Na? So this is also wrong. All entrepreneurs are women. All entrepreneurs are women. No. I told you all X are Y does not imply all Y are X. All humans are. Again, when you have confusion, you can think about the things you know in real life. A different example you can think. All humans are mammals. Does that mean all mammals are humans? No, right? So same way, all women are entrepreneurs does not mean all entrepreneurs are women. So option C is wrong. So option D only remains. Some entrepreneurs are doctors. Yeah, at least the women entrepreneurs will be doctors. Always try to connect with the question. Don't use only Venn diagram. When you practice, try to connect with the idea behind the question also. Yeah, the idea behind the question is these three groups we have to connect. So we have to understand at least the women doctors will be entrepreneurs because all women are entrepreneurs. So women and doctor intersecting that group at least will be entrepreneurs. So some entrepreneurs are doctors will be correct. Is this clear, all of you? Clear? Yes. So the Venn diagram clearly you can see here. This is a Venn diagram, minimal overlapping diagram. That itself was enough. Okay, let me tell you, minimal overlapping diagram, what is the relevance of it? I will give you little more insight. The minimal overlapping diagram is enough to conclude any positive conclusions. What is a positive conclusion? A conclusion which is not having the word no in it. That is a positive conclusion. All conclusion can be concluded from minimal overlapping diagram. Why? Because in the minimum diagram itself, it is correct. That means all diagrams, it will be correct. That is the idea. Because we are trying to positively say some x are y or all x are y. In minimum diagram itself, all x are y means. In other diagrams, it cannot be otherwise. But for concluding a negative conclusion, minimal diagram is not enough. Here, all the conclusions are positive. Na? Can you check that? I'm telling you the practical way you can solve the questions faster. All are positive conclusions. There is no word no in any of the conclusion. That is why this minimal overlapping diagram itself was enough. Here, minimal overlapping diagram itself is the only diagram. Other diagrams are less actually. But when here only two statements are there, that is why the diagram is so simple. When three statements are there, diagram have many possibilities. So that is the basic idea. Minimal overlapping diagram is enough to conclude any positive conclusions. For negative conclusion, minimal overlapping diagram is not sufficient. Okay. Let's see the second question then. Try the second question. I'll set a timer so that I can get an idea how much time you are taking. 2 minutes is enough. Don't say 5 minutes. In exam, you will not get 5 minutes. 2.5 minutes maximum in exam. That is what you should target. I'll give you 2 minutes. All of you try. Yes. A. How many of you got A option? Many of you. Very good. Very good. Yeah, in less than 1 minute, you could solve. Wonderful. Online batch. What's the answer? Option A. Many of you got. Very good. So two statements. Some bottles are cups. All cups are knives. So just like previous question, you can draw the Venn diagram. This will be the Venn diagram. Some bottles are cups. Bottle set and cup set have an intersection. And all cups are knives. Cup set will be subset of knife set. So automatically bottle and knife will have an intersection because at least the cup bottle will be knife. What is cup bottle? The bottle and cup intersection part. At least that bottle will be knife. That is what you can say. Now, from this, all these conclusions, how many are positive and how many are negative conclusions? All are positive. All are positive. Na? Some bottles are knives, some knives are cups, all cups are bottles, all knives are cups. So this Venn diagram will be enough for sure. Some bottles are knives, can you say? Some bottles are knives. Yes, at least the cup bottle will be knife. So first conclusion is correct. Is that clear to all of you? Why first statement is correct? Okay. So first conclusion is definitely correct. What about some knives are cups? Some knives are cups. That I already told you. All x are y means some y are x's already implied. So these knives at least will be cups now. These knives will be cups for sure. So we can say some knives are cups. These are knives which are cups. So definitely some knives are cups is correct. All cups are bottles. What about all cups are bottles? No, only some cups are bottles, that is clearly mentioned. So all cups are bottles, we cannot conclude. All knives are cups. All x are y does not imply all y are x. So all knives are cups is wrong because at least these cups, sorry, these knives are not cups. So this is not concludable. So 1 and 2 only are correct. The first statement is correct. All of you clear? Yes. Third question, please try. Learning the concepts and practice of the question, both together we are doing in the class itself. So when you are given time to try, please try it. Even if you think that these concepts are easy for you, please try it, because more you practice, more speed you gain. And more speed means more time to solve more questions. Especially this comprehension section and all, how much more time you have, that much better it is. How to get more time on comprehension? By saving time on this quant and reasoning topics. Yes. D. How many of you got D? Very good. 30 seconds more. Let all of you try. If you complete it, you can go through the other questions also. Try to complete the entire worksheet. Third one is the one we are doing now, na? Yeah, D. Let us check. We'll discuss now. A. How many of you got A? How many of you got D? Okay, so there is a confusion. We will discuss. So here, yeah, this is the first question where conclusions have negative conclusions also. So you should be careful. Minimal overlapping diagram may not be enough. So let us check. Statements are all teachers are professors, no professor is a male, some male are engineers. First, we will draw the minimal overlapping diagram. Minimal overlapping diagram will look like this. Are you all agreeing this? Let us understand it. All teachers are professors. Teacher set is subset of professor set. No professor is a male. Professor set and male set should not have any intersection. Size of the circle does not matter at all, or whether you place male right or left also does not matter. So no professor is a male means this professor set does not have an intersection with male. So automatically teacher and male have no intersection, because teacher set is inside the professor set. Na? So that is clear. Some male are engineer. So male and engineer will have an intersection. That is what you can say in the minimal overlapping diagram. There are other possibility also. Question doesn't restrict. Engineers cannot have an intersection with professors, or engineers cannot have an intersection with teachers. That is also possible. But when you draw minimal overlapping diagram, this is enough. Minimal overlapping diagram is clear to all of you. But minimal overlapping diagram is enough only to conclude positive conclusion. Which is a positive conclusion here? 1, 2, 3. Which one? Second one only. The other two are negative conclusions. The positive conclusion is some engineers are professors. For concluding that, this Venn diagram is enough. So some engineers are professors. Can you say that? No, not necessary. It is possible, but the copula word are says that it should be always correct. It should be always correct. Is it always correct? R means it should be always correct. It is not always correct, because in minimal overlapping diagram, at least it is not correct. There may be other Venn diagrams whether it is correct, but in minimal overlapping diagram, it is not correct. So it is not generally true or necessarily true. That is why this some engineers are professors are wrong. All of you understood second conclusion why it is wrong? Yes. Now, the other two conclusions, let us analyze with minimal overlapping diagram and see what is the problem when you use minimal overlapping diagram. What is the meaning of the conclusion? No engineer is a professor. We are clearly saying that no engineer is a professor. There is no possibility that engineer and professor have an intersection. That is the meaning of no engineer is a professor. No possibility at all. In any parallel universes, it is not possible. This is only one of the universes possible, right? But there can be many other parallel universes, right? In the multiverse, right? So, yeah, you have to be a Loki maybe. You have to be a Loki and you have to think about all the universes. This is only one of the many universes. Okay. So, no engineer is a professor is true in this possibility or in this reality. But I told you, male and engineer have an intersection, that is told. Male and professor have no intersection at all, that is told. But engineer and professor have an intersection or not, that is not mentioned in the premises. That means there is another Venn diagram that is possible where you can draw like this. Engineer set can be like this, or engineer set can be like this also, because there is no restriction where all engineers are mentioned. If you have doubt, you can revisit the premises. Engineers are mentioned only in the second sentence. What is a connection mentioned? Male and engineer should have an intersection. Male and engineer. That is the only place where engineers is mentioned. That means engineers may or may not have an intersection with professors. Engineer may or may not have an intersection with teachers. That may not have possibility is depicted in the minimal diagram. But there are other diagrams possible. So there can be a diagram, or if you want, I will draw it separately. If this is male, this is engineer set. And that engineer set having an intersection with teacher and professor set, or this is professor set, this is teacher set. Engineer and teachers having an intersection, and engineer and professor having an intersection. That means some engineers being professors is possible. Some engineers being teachers is also possible. That means no engineer being professor is only a possibility. That is not always true. If the word was maybe or is a professor, sorry, no engineer being professor is a possibility. That is correct. That way also conclusions can be written. But is an absolute word. Absolute word means it should be always true. So no engineer is a professor is wrong, because engineers can be professors also. That is why this cannot be concluded. I'm not saying this is wrong. This cannot be concluded. What can be concluded is a question. No engineer being a professor is also a possibility, but that is not the reality always. That is why that is wrong. Because what can be inferred means what can be concluded for sure. That is what we need to conclude. Now, what about male and teacher? Male and teacher. Sometimes the problem is when we read two sentences, then going to the third sentence, we will completely forget what all we have represented. So you may have to revisit, or you may have to draw the Venn diagram maybe once more if you have, if you are completely unclear. No male is a teacher. What is told about male and teachers? Professor and male, it is told. Professor and male does not have an intersection. Teacher and professor, it is included. Some male are engineer. So male and engineer have an intersection. What about no male is a teacher? No male is a teacher is correct in this diagram. But is it possible that male can be inside teacher or have an intersection? No, because male and professor does not have an intersection. So male and teacher cannot have an intersection, because by drawing like this only you can intersect here also. No? Male and professor does not have an intersection. So male and teacher cannot have an intersection at all. So that is why no male is a teacher is a correct conclusion. No male is a teacher is a correct conclusion. So what is the answer? Only conclusion 3 is correct. So this is what you should be careful about. When negative conclusions are there, you should be careful while solving it. Positive conclusion questions are very easy. That is what I am saying. This is only the minimal overlapping diagram. This is not the only diagram. I will just draw once more the second diagram so that it is clear. This is one diagram. The second Venn diagram possible is second Venn diagram possible is all teachers are professors. So teacher set is subset of professor set. Just like this I draw. No male, no professor is a male. No professor is a male means male set should be outside of professor set. This much is clear. But the problem is with the third statement. Some males are engineer means male and engineer have an intersection. But engineer, whether it have intersection with professor or teacher is not clear there. Na? Yeah, so we cannot conclude. If it is not given, how you can say that this is the only possibility? That is what I am saying. Where it is written that engineer does not have an intersection in professor, that is also not given. Na? Yeah, from the statement where it is written, that is my question. Where in the statement it is written that no engineer is a professor? Exactly. If both cases are there, and that means we cannot conclude it. I'm not saying that this is not possible at all. This is definitely possible. The word is possible. If the word is possible, the copula used is maybe. If the word is maybe, this is correct. Are you getting? No engineer may be a professor. That means there is a possibility that no engineer is professor is a possibility. Maybe or may not be. But the word is an absolute word. Is means it is for sure. Like whenever we say that, I may attend the meeting means I may or may not. That is a meaning. I will attend the meeting means that is absolute. I will attend means sure. Same way, the word is means it is always true. Is it always true? No. There is a possibility where the engineer can intersect with the teacher or the professor. That is also a possibility. Again, that is a whole point of syllogism. How? Question clearly mentioned male cannot be professor. No professor is a male. So no male is a professor. No X or Y means no Y or X also. That is not possible at all. Third conclusion is clearly correct because it is not possible that male can intersect with teacher, because for intersecting with teacher, first male should intersect with professor, right? Yeah, there is in the, which movie it is? Jawan movie, right? First, what is the dialogue? Forgot. That to touch the son first, you have to deal with the father. So same thing, the male have to have intersection with professor first for the male to have intersection with teachers. So definitely that is not possible because male and professor will not have an intersection. That is clearly mentioned in the question. So male and teachers cannot have an intersection. Teacher is just a subset of professor set here. That is why male cannot have an intersection with teachers. Again, some people, I think you are connecting with real life situation. That is what I'm saying. Real life situation have nothing to do with this. Because in real life situation, male and professor have intersection. Male and teacher have intersection. Engineer and teacher have intersection, right? Clear now? Yeah, these kinds of, yes, please. Option C saying second and third. That means you are saying second can be correct. That is, some engineers can be professors. Some engineers can be professor. That is what I'm saying. Then the word should be maybe. R means in all realities it is correct. This is correct in one reality. That is totally acceptable. Engineer and professor can have an intersection. But can have, cannot have also. Na? It may or may not. That is why I told you first draw the minimal diagram. From the minimal diagram, we understood that this is also a possibility. This is one existence that you cannot avoid. This is there. Along with that, there is one more possibility. But what is the copula used? R. R means always true. Is it always true? No. In this diagram, it is not true. This is also possible, na? That is why. That is why I told you, if the word was some engineer being professor is possible. Is it correct? Yes, it is possible. But that is not the only possibility. That is an idea. Clear now? Yes. Next one. Fourth one. This is the fourth one, right? Sorry, fifth one. This is 1 second. Fourth one. No, in the slide, some tables. This is the fifth one. 1 second. Let me check in the slide. I think that slide got deleted or something. Okay, for the time's sake, you can do fifth one. Let me check whether that slide is there or not. Fifth one, please try. Fifth, sixth, and seventh, you can try. The words can be like this also, at least also. At least one means the same as some. At least one means some itself. Question number 5. Fourth question is simple because both are positive conclusions. So it is easy only. Yes. D. How many of you got B? How many of you got B? How many of you got D? Okay. D for bat. How many of you? D for dog. Okay, B and D. Any other options? Okay. So shall we discuss? Okay, let's see. Some tables are shells, some shells are chairs, all chairs are benches. This diagram I already showed you when I showed the example of minimal overlapping diagram. Some tables are shells. Minimal overlapping diagram will be like this. Some tables are shells, some shells are chairs. Shelf and chair have an intersection. All chairs are benches. Chair will be subset of bench set. So this is the minimal diagram, but that does not mean this is the only diagram. What all are the other possibility? This table is totally flexible. Table can be placed having intersection with these two sets also, or with only chair, sorry, only benches, only not chair. All those are possible. Table and shell should have an intersection, that is only mentioned. But what about the conclusion? Is it positive or negative? All are positive, na? All are positive conclusion. So this diagram itself is enough. At least one means some. One or more. That means some itself. At least one bench is a table. That means some bench is a table. Some bench is a table. Can you conclude? Yeah, that is a possibility, but that is not the only possibility. In minimal diagram, there is no intersection. So that is not generally true. That is not generally true. At least one bench is a table. That cannot be concluded in all realities because in minimal overlapping diagram, it is not concluded. Okay, so this cannot be concluded. At least one shelf is a bench. Shelf and bench. Definitely that will be correct because shelf and chair have an intersection. At least the chair shelf will be bench because all chairs are benches. Na? All chairs are benches. So this shelf and chair intersecting region will be part of bench set also. So at least one shelf is a bench is correct, or some shelf is a bench is correct. At least one chair is a table. At least one chair is a table. Table is here, chair is here. Is it having an intersection? No. In minimal overlapping diagram, there is no intersection. But that is a possibility. But not always true. That is why it is wrong. All benches are chairs. All benches are chairs. All chairs are benches does not mean all benches are chairs. All X or Y does not imply all Y are X. So this cannot be concluded. So only two can be concluded. Why some of you got D? Confusion is clear? Okay, yeah, that is what I told. Fourth, you can skip for the time sake. Okay. Fourth one we will discuss. The slide is missing, but I will draw the diagram and say the answer. Fourth one, all benches are beds. Bench set will be subset of bed set. And no bed is a bulb. Bed and bulb have no intersection at all. No, some bulbs are lamps. So bulb and lamps have an intersection. So this is a minimal overlapping diagram. Some beds are lamps. Can you say that? Some beds are lamps. No, this is bed set. This is lamp set. No intersection. So first conclusion is wrong. Some lamps are beds. Same thing itself. That also cannot be concluded. So neither one nor two. D will be the correct answer for 4. No doubt, right? Then this is question number 6. Question number 6, please try. We have to start CSAT questions now. After 6, you can start trying CSAT question from question number 10 onwards. Question 6. Yeah, it can be in this format also, it can be asked. Yes. B. How many of you got B? All of you tried, or you want more time? If you haven't tried, try it. If you have tried, start doing question 10 onwards. 7, 8, and 9, you can try as homework. Or if time allows, towards the end of the class, we will revisit that. Yes. Done? Okay. So I'll explain then. Statements are all clerks are modern, some men are clerks. Conclusions are all modern person men, some men are modern. Both are positive conclusions. So minimal overlapping diagram is enough. So the minimal overlapping diagram will be like this. All clerks are men. Men set, clerk set have an intersection. All men are clerks. Sorry. What is the second statement? Some men are clerks. Men set and clerk set have an intersection. So automatically men set and modern set will have an intersection. From that, what you can conclude? All clerks are modern. All clerks are modern. Sorry, all modern persons are men. Modern and men, is it inside? One inside the other? No. Men and modern just have an intersection. So this cannot be concluded. Some men are modern. Some men are modern, we can say. At least the clerk modern people will be men. Because clerk, all of them are modern. So at least those, clerk men will be modern. Clerk men will be modern. That is why Q will be correct. P will not be correct. That is conclusion Q. That is option B. So now let us discuss CSAT questions. Just asking, these CSAT questions were discussed in the previous course or not? 8th one, na? Sure. Okay, 8th one in the slide. Okay, I will draw the picture. I think that slide is missing. Okay, 8th one, all of you tried? If not, try it fast. Yeah, that is a little twisted question. But drawing the Venn diagram, you can solve here also. Yes. D. Let's see. How many of you got D? Any other answers? C. How many of you got C? Let's see. Okay. So, 8th question. Suppose that in an organization, every teacher is a scientist. How you can draw every teacher is a scientist? Teacher set will be subset of scientist set. Teacher set will be subset of scientist set. Every teacher is a scientist. Every scientist who is not a teacher is an engineer. Every scientist who is not a teacher. That means this region it is mentioned about. Engineers are this shaded region. Yeah, not a normally how the question is asked, it is little different from that. So every teacher who is not a teacher is an engineer can be represented by this. Okay, but there is one thing that is unclear. Every scientist who is not a teacher is an engineer. But engineers are only in this region, that we don't know. Engineers may be outside this region also. Keep that in mind. You cannot assume that if the word only was there, we can say that engineers will be only here. But the question says that every scientist who is not a teacher is an engineer, but engineer can be outside the set also. Keep that in mind. But engineer will not be inside the teacher set. Inside the teacher set, engineer will not be. That is what we can say. From this, what you can conclude? Every engineer is a scientist. Every engineer is a scientist. That we cannot conclude, because as I told, engineers can be outside the set also. These can also be engineers. Getting? So that is why option A cannot be concluded. Every teacher is an engineer. Every teacher is an engineer. No, no teacher is an engineer here. So that cannot be concluded. Every scientist is either teacher or an engineer. Yeah, that can be told because scientist set is divided into teacher and non-teacher. Non-teachers all are engineers. That is what is said in the question. Na? So scientist set can be divided into teachers and engineers. So every scientist is a teacher or an engineer is correct. So option C is correct. Is it clear? No teacher is an engineer. Let's see. 1 second. Okay, option D is confusing. Na? No teacher is an engineer. Okay, C and D both make sense. No teacher is an engineer. Yes. But it is told that every teacher is a scientist. Na? So teacher set can only be inside scientist set. So outside. 1 second. Every teacher is a scientist. So but it is mentioned every scientist who is not a teacher is an engineer. Na? Every scientist who is not a teacher. This I will confirm towards the end of the class. We will go to the next question. I will confirm it. Anyway, C and D, other two options are eliminated. C and D, which is correct or both are correct or not, I will check. Okay, now we will start. 9th question is similar to what we discussed. So try it as homework itself. 10th onwards, we will start. Just wanted to know in the previous course, did the previous year questions were discussed or not? Not all of them. So shall we discuss? Yes. And even if it is discussed, you will get a different insight, I hope so. Okay, so this is in 2023 questions were not there from this chapter, but 2022 3 questions were there. 3 question means 7.5 mark. That is the unpredictability of UPSC actually, CSAT. So sometimes no question, sometimes 10 question, anything is possible. So try this. Okay, online batch, there is a doubt on question 4 now. Yeah, I will explain question 4. Maybe now towards the end of the class, I will explain that again. I didn't show the chat. At least the last 5 years, previous year questions, all of them we will discuss. Till question 16 are the last 5 years questions. Question 10 to 16. Tenth one done? Yes, what's the answer? D. How many of you got D? Very good. All of you tried now. Shall I explain? Okay, so conclusions, first of all, 4 conclusions are given. 3 positive conclusions are there. These 3 are positive conclusions. This is a negative conclusion. So for these 3, you need only the minimal overlapping diagram. Because I told you, in minimal overlapping diagram itself, if it is correct, there is no other case it can be wrong. Worst case scenario we say, na? In the worst case also it is correct. That means in better cases, it will be anyway correct. But for negation, you cannot do that. Because negation is the worst case. That is why minimal overlapping diagram, whether it is correct in any other better cases that you have to check. Okay, so that is the idea. So these are the 3 positive conclusions. For that, minimal overlapping diagram is enough. I will explain the minimal overlapping diagram very fast. Now, all of you are familiar with how to draw, I guess. All pens are books. Pen will be subset of books. No chair is a pen. Chair and pen does not have an intersection. So minimal overlapping diagram, chair and pen does not have intersection means chair and book you don't have to intersect. That is a possibility. But in minimal overlapping diagram, that we don't have to worry about. So this is a minimal overlapping diagram. Is it clear? Yes. So these three positive conclusions, let us check. All chairs are books. Chair and book, is there an intersection? No. So this cannot be concluded. First one, not possible. Okay, so this one cannot be concluded. Second one, some chairs are pen. Chair and pen, does it have an intersection? No. So this also cannot be. All books are chairs. Book and chair. It does not have even an intersection. That is why you cannot say all books are chairs. So these three can be eliminated. But no chair is a book. If you look at from this minimal overlapping diagram, that looks correct. No chair is a book. But that is only a possibility. When we say no chair is a book, we are clearly saying that it is not possible at all that chair and book have an intersection. That is, some chair being book is impossible. That is the meaning of no chair is a book. Na? But is it impossible? That means, is it possible to have an intersection between chair and book? That is the question. Yes, it is possible. Because in minimal overlapping in diagram, it is not having intersection. But chair here, book here, book, all chairs are books. All pens are books is mentioned. About chair, only statement is told that chair and pen does not have an intersection. Chair and book does not have an intersection is not mentioned. So there is a possibility like this, where chair have an intersection with book and all other things the same itself. So this is also possible. In that possibility, no chair is a book is wrong. Na? That is why this is not generally true. Again, it is not true does not mean it is false. That is what you should understand. So, some of you, I think that is a confusion. I'm not saying this is false. This is not concludable. You cannot conclude it. There is no enough evidence to conclude it. That is a point. So, no chair is a book cannot be concluded because that is only a possibility. Some chair is a book is also a possibility. That is why this is not possible to conclude. So, which all are possible? Which? None. Yeah, these three we eliminated. No? So, none of the conclusion follows. This was the 2022 CSAT problem. All of you clear now? So, this is the process of all questions. All questions can be done like this. So, for positive conclusions, minimal overlapping diagram. For negative conclusion, see whether any other possibility is there which is making it correct or wrong. Next one. 11th one. C. How many of you got C? Very good. Any other answers? No. Conclusions all are positive, so it is a simple question. All of you tried now? Yes. Some doctors are teachers, all teachers are engineers, all engineers are scientists. To save time, I will show the Venn diagram. If there is doubt, you can ask. All three are positive conclusions. So this Venn diagram itself is enough. Some doctors are teachers. Doctor and teacher have an intersection. All teachers are engineer. Teacher is subset of engineer set. All engineers are scientists. Say engineer is subset of scientist set also. So automatically engineer will have intersection with doctors. Scientists will have intersection with doctors because at least the teacher doctors will be having intersection. Teacher doctors are there means they will be engineers and scientists also. So from this, what you can conclude? Some scientists are doctors, obviously. Some scientists and doctors will have intersection. All engineers are doctors. All engineers are doctors, we can conclude. Because at least these engineers are not doctors. Doctors are here. Engineers, sorry. These engineers are not doctors. Some engineers are doctors. Some engineers are doctors can be concluded. Some engineers are doctors. So this is correct. This is correct. Which option? 1 and 3, option C. No doubts, right? So next question, 2022, one more question was there. Okay, cats or almiras. Okay, I think that is a 2021 question, not 2022, just 2021, I guess. Tried it? Yes. C. Conclusion 2, is it a positive conclusion or a negative conclusion? Positive. Let's see. C option, many of you got, right? All of you got C. Any other option? No. Let's see. So, some cats are almiras. So, cat and almira have an intersection. Cat and almira have an intersection. Some almiras are chairs. Almiras and chairs have an intersection. Almiras here, chairs here. All chairs are tables. Chairs should be subset of table. Is these three statements clear? From this, yeah, let me tell you, this word certainly, if it is there or not, the meaning is the same itself. Certainly some almiras are tables, some almiras are table are meaning the same. The R itself means it is certainly. The word R itself is, then why word certainly? Maybe just to confuse. If you are unaware of these kinds of keywords, you should be confused. That is the reason maybe. So certainly some almiras are tables means, just like normally we analyze some almiras are tables. Can you say some almiras are tables? Yes. The chair almiras will be tables. Chair almiras at least will be tables. So this conclusion is correct. Now some cats may not be chairs. This is a negative statement. It is not a positive statement. Anywhere if there is a no or not, that is a negative statement. Some cats may not be chairs means it is saying that there is the word may not means that is a possibility for cats not being, or some cats not being chairs also. Let us see. For that, this minimum diagram, what you can say? Cat and chairs, what is the connection? No cat is a chair. That means some cats may not be chairs is true in this minimal diagram itself. May not means, the word may means, is it possible or not? It is not an absolute word. So it is possible or not? It is possible. In minimal diagram, at least it is possible. So here we are not drawing another diagram, even if it is a negative statement, because the copula is a negative, copula is a possibility only. The word may is giving a possibility only. That means in minimal diagram itself, it is possible that some cats may not be chairs, because these cats are not chairs. Some cats may not be chairs. What is the opposite of it? All cats are chairs. Some cats may not be chairs is totally correct, because these cats are not chairs. No cat is chair. That is also not a problem. That is also possible for some cats may not be chairs. So this is also correct. Some almiras or tables are also correct. This is also correct. So option C, both conclusion 1 and 2 are correct. Any doubts? No. Next question. Any answers? 13. D. All of you got D? Yes, very good. So I'll explain fast. Both are positive conclusions. Some radios are watches, some mobiles are watches. So minimal overlapping diagram is enough. Some radios are mobiles. Radio and mobile have an intersection. Radio set and mobile set have an intersection. All mobiles are computers. Mobile set is subset of computer set. That means computers and radios will have an intersection for sure. Some computers are watches. Computers and watches have an intersection. So this is a minimal diagram. From this, can you say some radios are watches? Some radios are watches. Radios are here. Watches are here. No intersection at all. In minimal diagram, some radios are not being watches. So you don't have to worry about other diagrams. So this is not correct. Some mobiles are watches. Can you say some mobiles are watches? Mobile and watches is not having intersection in minimal diagram. So that is also wrong. This is how minimal diagram will help you to solve questions faster. So option D is the correct answer. All clear? Next one. Yes? B? D? How many of you got D? If you want more time to try, please tell. If anyone haven't tried, I will wait. All of you have tried, we will start explanation. D, most of you got.